At 8 a.m., while the world is just waking up, the most successful people are already in motion, clear, focused, and intentional. Their day doesn't just happen to them, they design it. They understand that the first few hours after sunrise determine the quality of the next 16. Success is not a coincidence for them. It's a rhythm, a routine, a sacred secret that begins before the noise of the world begins. The first secret: they start with silence. Before the phone lights up, before messages arrive, before the mind begins its chatter, they sit with themselves. It could be meditation, prayer, or quiet reflection, but that stillness is power. It's in those quiet moments that clarity comes. They don't chase peace, they create it. They understand that the mind is like water. When it's still, it reflects truth. When it's turbulent, it distorts everything. Then comes gratitude. It's easy to overlook this one, but it's everything. Successful people don't just count achievements, they count blessings. They know that a thankful heart multiplies opportunities. Before tackling challenges, they whisper, "Thank you," for the life they have, the breath they take, the chance to try again. That vibration of gratitude shifts the energy of the entire day. It's not luck that brings more, it's gratitude that attracts it. The third secret: they move, not just metaphorically but physically. Whether it's a run, yoga, or a simple stretch, they activate their body before they activate their calendar. Movement ignites the mind. It says, "I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm ready." You can't pour from an empty vessel. And they know that health is not a side effect of success. It's the foundation of it. They fuel their bodies with intention, knowing that energy is their greatest asset. By 8 a.m., they've already connected with their purpose. They don't scroll aimlessly, they plan deliberately. Their mornings are not spent reacting, they're creating. They open their journals, write their visions, and speak their goals into existence. They visualize the day unfolding in their favor. They picture the calls going well, the meetings succeeding, the results exceeding expectations. They don't hope for a good day, they program it. Another secret: they read. Even if it's 10 pages, they feed their minds with wisdom. It could be a book, an article, or a verse, something that uplifts and educates. They understand that input determines output. Every piece of knowledge becomes fuel for decisions, conversations, and creativity. While others are distracted by entertainment, they're equipping themselves for elevation. Successful people also guard their energy like treasure. They are careful about what they let in: the news, the negativity, the opinions of others. They protect their mental environment because they know it dictates their outer world. They don't let anyone's chaos steal their calm. They learn to say no, not out of arrogance, but alignment. They know their priorities, and they don't apologize for protecting them. And then comes the discipline of focus. At 8 a.m., when most people are multitasking, they're single-tasking. They identify the most important task of the day and commit to it fully. They understand that success is not doing everything. It's doing the right things consistently. They give their full attention, their best energy, to what truly matters. And because of that, they finish what others only start. Another secret: they speak life. Words have power, and they use them carefully. They affirm themselves, speak hope into challenges, and talk possibility into problems. They don't wake up saying, "I'm tired," or "I can't." They say, "I'm ready, I'm growing, I'm capable." The world responds to that energy. The day bends to those who command it with faith and conviction. By 8 a.m., they've already done more for their spirit, mind, and body than many do all day. They've built momentum, and momentum is the mother of motivation. Once it starts rolling, everything follows: confidence, creativity, clarity. The rest of the day feels lighter because they've already done the heavy lifting of alignment. They also understand balance. Success isn't just about work, it's about wholeness. They take time to connect with family, to share a kind word, to nurture relationships, because they know that success without love is empty, and achievements without joy are hollow. Their 8 a.m. is not rushed, it's rich. Every moment feels intentional, sacred, and purposeful. They know that success is not something that suddenly arrives, it's something they cultivate daily. One habit, one thought, one choice at a time. The way they start determines the way they finish. You see, the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is often found in those first golden hours. The secret is not a hidden formula, it's commitment. Every day, they choose consistency over comfort. They rise early not because they have to, but because they want to. They see mornings not as a duty, but as an opportunity to rise above yesterday. Their mornings are the birthplace of their greatness. When you master your 8 a.m., you master your destiny. That's the truth, because how you show up in the first hour determines how life shows up for you. The most successful people know that success is not built at midnight, it's built at sunrise. It's in that sacred window, when the world is quiet, that they do the inner work that creates outer results. So, if you want to change your life, start there. Don't look for secrets in books or shortcuts in trends. Look at how you spend your mornings. Ask yourself, what energy am I creating before the day begins? Because that energy will echo through every meeting, every decision, every moment that follows. Wake up with purpose, move with gratitude, think with clarity, speak with conviction, protect your peace, feed your mind, and act with focus. That's the real 8 a.m. secret of highly successful people. They don't just wake up early, they wake up differently. And once you start doing that, the world will begin to respond to you in ways you never imagined. Doors will open, ideas will flow, and opportunities will appear as if they were waiting for you all along. Because the truth is, success doesn't start when the world sees you working. It starts when you decide, before 8 a.m., to become the kind of person who deserves it. Every sunrise holds a promise, a whisper that says, you can begin again. The world outside may still be quiet, the air crisp and calm, yet inside, the truly successful have already stepped into a different dimension, a place of readiness, vision, and quiet power. At 8 a.m., they are not chasing the day, they are leading it. They are not waiting for something to happen, they are shaping what will. The secret isn't in how fast they move, but how intentional they are. The rhythm of their morning is like a symphony. Every habit, every moment, plays a part in creating harmony between their spirit and their goals. Their mornings are not random, they're rehearsed with grace and purpose. Each choice, from the first breath they take to the last sip of their morning tea, aligns with their higher self. They understand that success is not an explosion. It's an accumulation of quiet decisions made in the stillness of dawn. The world glorifies the results, but they honor the process. At 8 a.m., when others are still deciding whether to snooze or rise, they are already sowing the seeds of victory. They know that small disciplines compound into extraordinary outcomes, and that's why they treat mornings like sacred ground. They start by centering themselves. Before reaching for their phones or checking messages, they reach inward. They take a moment to breathe deeply, to connect to their purpose, to remind themselves of who they are and who they're becoming. They know the outer world can wait until the inner world is grounded. They understand that how they enter the day determines how the day enters them. Some journal, letting their thoughts spill freely, ideas, intentions, gratitude, dreams. Others meditate, allowing silence to speak louder than noise. Some pray, surrendering their plans to divine guidance. But all of them do one thing in common: they create alignment. They make sure their heart, mind, and body are moving in the same direction. That alignment is where their power lies. They don't let yesterday's failures dictate today's energy. The truly successful don't wake up replaying regrets, they wake up reprogramming results. Every sunrise is a reset button, and they use it wisely. They rewrite their inner dialogue. Today I'm better. Today I'm focused. Today I'm open. They understand that the first words they speak are spells. They shape the reality they walk into. After grounding themselves, they fuel their body, not out of vanity, but vitality. Nutrition is not just about food, it's about energy. They eat with purpose, hydrate with intention, move with mindfulness. A simple walk in fresh air, a stretch, or a few minutes of focused breathing. These are their tools for awakening the body's intelligence. They don't need chaos to feel alive, they thrive in calm strength. Their health is not an afterthought, it's the engine of their mission. By 8 a.m., they have already completed rituals that most postpone for weeks. They've read something that nourishes the mind. A quote, a passage, a paragraph that sparks reflection. They treat learning as a spiritual practice, not an obligation. Every bit of wisdom becomes a seed planted in the soil of their consciousness. They know that growth is not about information, it's about transformation. So they learn not to collect facts, but to evolve perspectives. Their mornings are not about perfection, they're about presence. They understand that success is not just doing more, but being more. They don't rush from task to task trying to prove their worth. They move from intention to intention, knowing their worth is already proven by the purpose they carry. Their calmness is not laziness, it's mastery. Because when you own your energy, you no longer need to chase validation. At 8 a.m., they've already spoken to themselves kindly. They've looked in the mirror and said, "You're capable, you're growing, you're chosen for something bigger." This isn't arrogance, it's awareness. They've learned that the most powerful relationship they'll ever have is the one with themselves. The way they speak internally becomes the tone of their entire life. That's why their mornings are filled with affirmation, not comparison. They plan their day like an architect designs a masterpiece. They don't just write lists, they set intentions. They ask, what truly matters today? What one thing will move me closer to my vision? They focus not on doing everything, but on doing the right things. That laser focus gives them clarity and peace. It frees them from the trap of busywork and guides them toward impact. The truly successful don't measure days by hours. They measure them by outcomes that align with purpose. They also understand the beauty of boundaries. At 8 a.m., their minds are guarded from the flood of distractions that pull most people into digital chaos. They resist the urge to open social media or emails because they know their mind is most impressionable in those first hours. They choose inspiration over information. They choose creation over consumption. That's why they seem more grounded, more alive, more ready. Their mind is not filled with noise but with vision. And perhaps the most profound secret, they see mornings as sacred conversations with destiny. Every action, every thought is like saying to the universe, "I'm ready, I'm available, I'm willing." They walk into the day not asking for things to be easy, but asking for strength to handle what's ahead. They've made peace with challenges because they've learned that adversity doesn't block the path. It is the path. Their 8 a.m. mindset isn't about comfort. It's about courage. They've learned that what they do early sets the tone for everything. If they rush, their mind stays scattered. If they pause, their soul stays steady. So they choose presence. They take time to savor small moments. A sunrise, a cup of coffee, the sound of silence before the world awakens. Those tiny pauses are not wasted. They're woven into the fabric of their strength. They understand that success without soul is emptiness. That's why, while they build empires, they also build peace. They make time for connection, with family, with faith, with nature, with gratitude. They understand that fulfillment doesn't come from achievement alone, but from alignment between purpose and peace. So even as they conquer goals, they never lose sight of what truly matters. The 8 a.m. secret isn't about waking up early, it's about waking up fully. It's about realizing that every day is a new audition for your best self. The truly successful don't just prepare for opportunities, they prepare to be ready for them. They know that luck is simply when preparation meets divine timing. So while others wait for the right moment, they create it. At 8 a.m. their eyes carry vision, not fatigue. Their steps carry direction, not doubt. Their hearts carry gratitude, not complaint. They walk with quiet confidence, not because they have all the answers, but because they trust the process. They know that small, consistent actions done with faith become miracles over time. They live by discipline, not mood. They don't wake up if they feel like it. They wake up until it becomes who they are. They don't rely on motivation because they've built systems that carry them through the days motivation runs low. Their willpower isn't temporary, it's trained. And that's why they win not just once, but repeatedly. Because while others get ready, they've already begun. By 8 a.m., they've already aligned their mind, fueled their body, strengthened their spirit, and planned their purpose. They've already defeated doubt and nurtured peace. They've already created the vibration that will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments. Their morning doesn't just prepare them, it empowers them. The world might not see what happens in those quiet hours, but the results tell the story. The calm confidence, the consistent progress, the magnetic energy, it all begins before anyone is watching. Success whispers at dawn long before it shouts at noon. The difference between those who dream and those who do often lies in what they do before the world wakes up. So if you truly want to change your life, start with your 8 a.m., change the way you rise, and you'll change the way you live. Wake with intention, move with gratitude, think with focus, and act with faith. Create a morning routine that mirrors the life you desire, not the life you're trying to escape. You don't need perfection, you need presence. You don't need hours, you need awareness. Remember, it's not about waking up early, it's about waking up Lars on purpose. Each sunrise is an invitation to rise higher, to live with clarity, to walk with courage, to love with depth, and to work with passion. Don't waste those golden hours scrolling through the world's noise. Use them to listen to your own voice. Because the most successful people don't just build businesses, they build mornings that build them. Your future is quietly waiting in your 8 a.m. habits. The question isn't whether you're capable. The question is, are you willing to rise differently? Every day is a choice between repeating old patterns or creating new standards. Choose new standards. Choose alignment over anxiety. Choose peace over panic. Choose purpose over distraction. Because when you master your morning, you master your momentum. And once you master momentum, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. The world belongs to those who greet the sun not with laziness, but with purpose. To those who see each morning not as a burden, but as a blessing. To those who, by 8 a.m., are already walking in faith, focus, and gratitude. That is the secret of the highly successful, not just that they wake up early, but that they wake up alive. The real power of life begins when the sun rises, not just in the sky, but within you. Success isn't a mystery locked behind luck. It's a daily decision made in the quiet of the morning. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for inspiration. They create it through consistency, clarity, and conviction. They've learned that when they command their mornings, they command their lives. The 8 a.m. secrets are not complicated. They're intentional. Silence to find clarity, gratitude to shift energy, movement to awaken strength, focus to direct purpose, faith to build courage. Every small action adds up, shaping a mindset that no challenge can shake. The world sees their achievements but rarely sees their mornings, and that's where the real magic happens. So, rise with purpose. Make your mornings sacred. Don't let the world decide your rhythm, create your own. Because when you choose to wake up with gratitude, act with discipline, and move with vision, life begins to respond to your energy. The moment you honor your 8 a.m., you step into alignment with the person you're meant to be. Success doesn't start when people notice. It starts when you decide to rise differently. Each sunrise is a second chance, a blank page, a new beginning. And if you can win your morning, you can win your life. That is the timeless truth hidden in every 8 a.m., the hour where greatness begins, quietly, intentionally, and powerfully within you.